I want to thank you guys to coming to our monthly webinar where we try to update you on new products, software changes. Today's a good one. So we're going to talk about our IP Plus, VMAX, our PathFinder inside of them. We're also going to have a little bit of an update on Spectrum and one or two other things. Again, thanks for coming. I am Paul Krofssik. I'm a director of training for Digital Watchdog. My email's down there. If you got a question, something like that pops up in your head after this, be sure to send me an email. I'll try to answer it for you. If you want to ask a question, you can type it in. I'll answer it at the end if I can answer it. If not, I will get you an answer. So again, thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it, and we'll get started. So the product update we're going to talk about is actually something that occurs inside our A1 and A1 Plus, A1 Plus and IP Plus DVRs and NVRs. And what it is the software that allows you to go in and view live video, control cameras, search playback from anywhere using our server, our PathFinder server. You can use this on our Android, iOS, and our Windows C3, okay? And so what this is a peer-to-peer cloud service, allows you to securely connect, your different DVRs and NVRs to our DW Mobile Plus stuff. So what we've done is we've updated and improved and added a whole US, actually we're exclusively now US-based servers in multiple locations. So this way we can handle large amounts of data, sites, users, with our tech support and management in the US. So the update is from a performance standpoint and improvements to server. And I'm going to go over a little bit about how the PathFinder works. And so again, the models are our VMAX A1 Plus and IP Plus. So our A1 Plus is our HD over coax DVR. All right, so you can plug the old cameras into it that were, 300 line cameras or, up to 5 megapixel in ours, and our IP Plus NVR with built-in PoE, and it can handle old cameras that are, whatever they are, 1 megapixel, 720p, whatever that was, and up to 4K, and it has a built-in PoE in it. So the PoE slots are on the back. So what we're going to look at next is a slide and just a very short video on turning on the PathFinder. It searches for the service, and then the system will activate, and you literally have your PathFinder for that machine set up. And it is a QR code. When you're using our Mobile Plus application and Android or iOS, you can go in and connect to the system. All right. So it makes it very easy. And so where you find this is you go to your model number for your unit. So let's say you have an 8-channel IP Plus or a 16-channel A1 Plus. You go to our website and you download the firmware, okay, which is listed here, okay. And if someone's going to be using, Windows-based machine to monitoring, you can then download the latest version of C3. All right, download it from there. Also, we always try to keep an older version hanging around and a few other things just to make sure, if people needed an older version or something like that, they can go locate it for a customer. So inside the C3 menu, once you've generated that PathFinder code, so again, we go back one and we have our PathFinder code up there. So that can be actually accessed from the NVR DVR's web page. And you can actually copy that code, put it into a notepad, or go directly into, let's say, the C3 software and paste it in. And as you can see back here, I've got a couple of recorders, direct IP, and then a couple of recorders using the PathFinder setting, the PathFinder code. The neat thing about this is when you paste the PathFinder code in and you put the username and password. Now, if you have a user, okay, and let's say that user is not admin. Let's say it's Paul and I'm only allowed to see 4 channels of a 16-channel unit. It will detect the model automatically. So you put in the PathFinder ID, you put that username and password in, and then we'll only display the cameras the person's allowed to see. So keep that in mind. You can use I have the admin one here. This would generally be speaking for the installation company or the end user that's involved in it. You can also connect via DDNS, so you can have a name in there, DW Tampa or whatever, ABC Liquor or whatever the name of the thing, or maybe the name of the company and a store number in there, or by direct IP address. So you're internal on the network, the IP address of the unit. So you can connect more than one way. You don't have to use the PathFinder system. The PathFinder makes it very easy to connect via your mobile device, because there's a little less typing logging in because you're actually scanning that QR code. So C3 gives you the ability to do live playback backup, including a scheduled backup. So you can actually have this software on, only turn on the scheduled backup, and it'll back up to a remote location that has the storage. We have an event server I'll explain a little bit, email and emergency alarms, a bunch of stuff built into the C3 software, including dual monitor support. So the software will support 2 instances of it running internally on the software. So you can have 2 monitors up, 144 cameras, 2 monitors, or 288 total. Those might be a little small, of course, on a 17-inch or even a 24-inch monitor. Might want to get yourself a big monitor, closer to a 70-inch monitor or something like that. To have that many cameras on it, I wouldn't do that. I would maybe tops 20 cameras on these things, just because you want to be able to see what's going on. You can play back and view live at the same time. You can search for video, play back, view live, take snapshots, do all this stuff right from the same interface. Or again, you have a dual monitor, you can have one monitor doing playback, live view, you're doing searching while you have that live view on the other monitor. You can search events by thumbnails. So you can go out and view a 24-hour period, 12-hour period, however you're going to line it up, and see when a car was there and when a car wasn't, or a person was there and when they weren't, and then go in and drill down till you find out when that person arrived, when they left. Allows you to drill down very easily using the thumbnail search. You can remotely configure the DVR settings from the C3 software. So you can go in, you click remote setup, and you'll be faced with the web browser page of that particular server, and you can go in and tweak the setup, make changes to whatever you want to do. You can do 100% of the changes to the recorder remotely, as well as locally, obviously. In the C3 software is also the ability to dewarp 360 cameras. So you can plug in one of the digital Watchdog 360 cameras, and you can go in, dewarp it, view the video, change it around. We're just going to bring up the camera. You can rotate it to give it a view. Okay. So you can angle it the right way, the way you want to see it, and then go in and do a 90-degree view, 180-degree view, and even a 360-degree view. You can also export video from any of the devices on the network. So if a place has multiple recorders, you can go in here and say, okay, I want this chunk of time from this recorder, this chunk of time from that recorder. You can save it as MP4 or in its native format, along with having that backup option I explained to you earlier. So you can have the ability to have a scheduled backup. That video can go somewhere else on their network and pull back. This would be for like, hey, there was someone here, something was going on, and so we wanted to, investigate it. And this is what we found. Found this person, went into this room, went into the warehouse, and so on. One of the other things that this product has is its health monitoring. So it actually has a built-in health monitor and event server built in. And all this things I've been showing you is available via the P2P network. So you can use the PathFinder, you can use the DDNS, you can use direct IP to connect to the system and get this. So you can get a view of a whole bunch of recorders out there. So if you have an end user that has 20 recorders and he's managing them, or you guys have a customer base and you're using our product and you have 500 of these out there, you can go out and monitor the devices you have installed out there, and it'll tell you, oh, I've got 180 cameras out there. 3 cameras are down for whatever reason. You can go and investigate, and you can actually, you know, preempt or take a look at something that maybe your customer doesn't know. It's saying, hey, a site's down. You call them up saying, hey, it looks like your site's down. Can you see any video on your screen? Yeah, it looks like it's recording. Looks like your internet service provider's down, or maybe you've got to go out and do a service call. Okay, but this will help you do preemptively do that. Some of the things it will do will be video loss if there's a system reboot, hard drive failure, hard drive recording failure, which is different than hard drive failure, recording failure, but it also will do analytics. So again, we have cameras with video analytics in them. And so if you have customer wants to know how many people went into this area of a building, you set your analytics, you set the schedule, it'll say, oh, after 6 o'clock at night, there was 3 intrusions in here. Now, those intrusions, of course, could be made instantly through email notifications and things like that. But also they could just keep a log and say, okay, let's go look at the end of the week. Anyone go into our secured area of our building after 6 o'clock at night? Yeah, we had 3 intrusions. Okay, let's go play back the video and see who or what this was. You can get down and dirty data from it, including who logged in, logged out. If there is something going on in a critical event, like the unit keeps rebooting and you find out there's a power problem at the site. So there's all kinds of things you can get from this. And this is sent to either the end user, to their lab, to a PC just running our event viewer software, or to your location where, let's say, your service department is. So how do you do this PathFinder update? So again, you go to the website, you update your recorder with the latest firmware. Okay, so it says IP Plus should be 1.4.2.7. So if you have our 4-channel PoE, which is actually a 9-channel unit, you download the appropriate firmware for that. And IP Plus, you got a 16-channel unit, it would be 1.0.1.56. You update the unit. It's pretty straightforward. You can actually force the update remotely. You don't have to go to the site to do it. All right. We do ask that you have port 8080 open on the router. Okay. And of course, we have an iOS and Android app. And in the unit, as you can see, we're looking at the web browser page from the recorder with the QR code in it. Okay. And so once that's set up, you can then turn on the PathFinder service. It'll show you that screen saying service on, no service, service activated. And then you can take a picture of it and you can see what happens. So it's firmware update, find the QR code, open the Mobile Plus app, go to site, capture the QR code with your camera. And that's what we're going to take a look at right here. So got our site set up. You choose a new site, and then we've got a little video playing showing, the screen recording from a Apple iPhone. And so we've got our site, give it a name, DW Tampa. We choose it saying, oh, we got an IP Plus. We put in our login. So I'm going to use the admin, and then we can just click on the site, DW Tampa, and then it will connect to the site and show the cameras you're allowed to see, whether it's 4, 8, 16 cameras. Maybe it's only 1 camera. Person's allowed to see the front door camera, or they're the receiving guy. And if he's at lunch, he wants to be able to see if the truck pulls up while he's at lunch. So makes it very easy to set up and use. You again used with our VMAX A1 Plus, one-touch access to your camera list. So you got a whole list of your sites there. You can just keep adding to it. You also have fingertip PTZ control. You have playback. It supports audio, so the camera has an audio in. You hook a mic up into it, or a camera with a mic into it. You can then also hear the audio from these things. We also have little widgets in there. One of them is time and weather, maybe others coming. And there's a nice tutorial built in. So it's a very quick and easy way to update the PathFinder. So the next thing I want to talk about is DW Spectrum, because I know a lot of our folks use Spectrum out there. It is a wonderful VMS. Any of you guys that haven't tried it, we have trial versions on our website. You can download. You can access trial licenses directly from the software. And like I said, by all means, take a if you haven't used it, take a run at it. You'll be amazed at what DW Spectrum does for you. So what I wanted to update you guys on is we've completed an integration with Control 4. So those of you guys that do, home automation, stuff like that, it'll be a great addition for your home automation because it allows you to get snapshots from the camera for use with push notifications in Control 4, or you can send events back and forth between Spectrum and the event log, or receive against events. So you can download it. The link is down below, chowmainsoft.com, digital-watchdog-control 4. You can download the driver. There is a little bit of configuration. We actually have those of you guys want, send me an email. I'll send you the instructions on how to update it. It's pretty straightforward. And you can go in and either, if you're experimenting with in your office, or you got it in your house, or you're selling it to customers, it's a great convergence of two products that allow you to go in and, see video assigned to events in your home automation setting. So the next thing we're going to talk about is HD Spot. Again, some of you guys who know the Digital Watchdog product knows what this is. This is a spot monitor for either a A1 Plus, an IP Plus, or Spectrum that allows you to take the output from those and display them on a monitor. Okay, so let's say you got customer, wants someone to be able to just look at one camera. This is a very small box. You can Velcro it to the back of a 17-inch monitor. It talks to all IP conformant cameras, and of course our Digital Watchdog products. It'll talk directly to them. And we got two models. We've got a 16-channel model, allow you to display 16, and a 4-channel monitor. Drag and drop configuration. The configuration actually looks very similar because I think they're using the same tools as our DVRs and NVRs. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's a great addition to the Digital Watchdog lineup. And then the other thing is we haven't talked about it in a while, is our Digital Watchdog illuminators. So we have a hybrid illuminators at 940 nanometers and 850 nanometers, which is the type of IR light that comes out of it, along with white light. So that's the hybrid unit. And then we have a standalone white light unit and a standalone IR unit. And the beauty of these is, of course, let's say you are trying to get a license plate that's pretty far away. You can set these for a very narrow beam that can go out and width of the rear of a car to get the extra light, and a car far away trying to get the license plate, or you can set the white light versions to flash and strobe or turn on when there's motion and things like that. And then, of course, you got the hybrid unit, which will allow you to leave them on in the sort of incognito mode, monitoring things. And if someone gets too close to a building, you've got your analytics in the camera that can then turn on the white light and maybe create a strobe or something like that. So that's the products I wanted to update. That was very quick. It was like 20 minutes. If there's any questions, by all means, guys can ask them.